Hello and welcome to Tolaris University. In this video, we'll show you how to handle basic networking challenges, how to troubleshoot a network failure, and how to handle firewall issues. Now, in this video, we assume that you have Express Entry installed, which you see in the middle of my screen here, and your handheld is installed and connected, which you see on the far right of my screen. Now, there are many reasons why your handheld may fail to connect, and the first thing you need to do is to try and attempt a connection. So I'll just hit the up and down arrow here, which attempts a connection. And as you can see, the message says that you are not connected to a Wi-Fi or cellular. So the first thing to do in this case is go back to the home screen of your handheld and attempt to reconnect your Wi-Fi. So you see my Wi-Fi is now connected. Let's return to Express Entry and try to attempt another connection. Now, as you can see, the error is different from the initial case. It says sync error. So this means that the handheld cannot establish a connection to the server. Now, there are many things that could cause this. Either the IP address is wrong or your firewall is blocking the connection. Any of these could affect the connection to your machine from the handheld. So now let us check if the IP address is correct. The best way to do this is to go to Help on your Express Entry. If we just see Help here, click About, and on the page that comes up, you can see the IP address listed here, right here. So in this case, it's 192.168.1.28. Now let's go to the handheld on the right. And on the handheld, click the burger sign on the top left, go to Settings, and under IP address, you need to check that this is the same. So you see in this case, the IP address is wrong. So we'll just correct it and make it the correct thing, which is 192.168.1.28. So click on that pane, and it should let you change the IP. 28. Click OK. And now to check the server from here, you can just click Check Server. You should see a message pop up. In this case, it says server is not available. Now, the next thing to do is to check if the Express Entry service is actually alive. And the best way to do this is to check your service via a browser. But before we do that, we need to check what type of service we are running. And in this case, you need to go into Settings. So just go to Tools, Settings, and then go to Server. And in this case, I have HTTP enabled, HTTPS is also enabled, and HTTP legacy is enabled. By default, these two will be enabled and these two will be disabled. So you have to check which is applicable in your case. In my case, I'll only be using HTTPS. Now, since I know I'm using HTTPS, let's go into a browser. So I'll just open a browser and you type HTTPS. :/ and the IP, which is 192.168.1.28. And you put a colon, and the port for HTTPS, as you can see on the right, is 30,001. So hit enter. And in most cases, it will tell you the connection is not private, so just hit advanced and proceed to this network. If your server is alive, you should see a message that says server alive with the date and time stamp and these two links. Now let's go also into the handheld and do the same. So let's open a browser and type the same case, HTTPS. 192.168.1.28 : 30,001. As you can see, we're not able to establish a link, and this means that either the port is being blocked by your firewall or there is some other issue. So let's first of all check the firewall on our system. So let's go back into Windows. And let's go into firewall. If you have an active firewall, you will need to create a port rule for this particular port. If you're using HTTP, 30,000 is your port. If you're using HTTPS, 30,001 is the port you need to enable. So in this case, I'm going to create an inbound rule. Express entry only communicates from the handheld to the server. So all you need to do is to create only an inbound rule. So click new rule, select port, click next. So the port number in my case is 30,001. Hit next. Click allow the connection. Then you can enable all the network types. And for the name, you can just call it Express Entry Ports or whatever description that suits you. Hit finish. And once you do this, you can go back into the handheld. As you can see on the handheld side, it already refreshed and it's now able to connect. So let's hit advanced and proceed. And you see the same message you saw on the server. So now let's go back into the handheld and try to establish a connection again. Hit check server. You see server is connected. And let's go back into the page and let's go back into Express Entry. And now you should see that you have a connection to your server. Now this runs through most of the issues that you may have with your network connection. Please note that if your network IP changes or the name of your device or your server changes, all you need to do is to go back into settings here and change the IP address right here. We hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please feel free to reach out to us at helpdesk@Telarus.com or sales@Telarus.com for technical or product inquiries. Thank you.